We have a new optimized framework for the YOLO model called LiteRT. We're going to see how we can set up, how we can use it, and all these things step by step. So this is the optimized framework from Google to run on edge devices. You want to take your models, you want to get them into production. We need to optimize them for specific frameworks, so we can both do quantization. We have less bits per weight that we have in our model, so it's going to run faster without really losing any accuracy. So there's all these different techniques. If we go inside the Ultralytics documentation, we can go into the integrations on the left side, and I'm also going to show you how we can do it with the Ultralytics Platform after you have trained a model. So if we go down, we can see all these integration we're integrating with. Let's take a look at LiteRT. So short for Lite runtime, it's Google's high performance runtime for on-device AI. So if you want to create like edge devices, you want to have the models run on phones, different types of like smaller computers like Raspberry Pis and all that, this can be used for it. So we see that this is the next generation and the new name for TensorFlow Lite. So this is pretty much just Google's optimized framework. You also have TensorRT for NVIDIA, OpenWindow for Intel, Core ML for Apple. You can check out all these things here. We export into that format as well, depending on what hardware you're running it on. So for mobile embedded edges and also in the browser, this is a very cool optimized framework that you can use. So if you just go down and take a look at it, you can also see that you can run it through the Flutter plugin. So you can have a phone app running, doing update detection, exported with LiteRT. So this is one of the use cases, for example. Again, we have videos covering like all details about all the optimized frameworks, what they are, all the theory and so on behind it. So make sure to check those out. You can see some official stuff, some different facts. Here you can see about why you should use LiteRT. I pretty much already went over that, and it's just for optimizing the model so they can run faster and more efficient on a specific hardware, either with smaller storage requirement, so the memory required for loading in the model could also just be like run as fast infinite as possible, because even if you use quantization, usually we have floating point 32 bits for every single weight that we have in our model. So that could probably be with some of the YOLO models around 50 megabytes, but if you then use floating point 16, you almost get it down to 25 megabytes. So this is very, very important, and you can see on-device optimizations, multi-platform support. It runs on both Android, iOS, embedded Linux, like if you're having Jetson devices, Raspberry Pis, pretty much any embedded device, smaller like computer, is running some kind of like linear distribution, microcontrollers, and modern web browsers. You can see some of the hardware acceleration. So OpenCL Metal Web GPU, it runs in floating point 16 by default. You can also do quantization. This is what I mentioned with the number of bits per weight, and you can get all the way down to int8. So every single weight just has 8-bit integer value. You will start to maybe lose a few percentages accuracy there, but it's also going to run much faster. So this is very, very cool. You can see this is how we specified. So it can be static int16 int activation as well. So we can have int8 weights, and then we can have int8 activations for higher accuracy. So this is the weights actually activating in the model itself. It's going to run with int16, so 16 bits. So it's going to be more accurate for those weights being active. But when you're stored and when you run the model, you're not loading in all those 16 bits for every single weight in your model. And we're talking about millions of parameters, so this makes a huge difference once you want to get it into embedded devices. So this is very, very important. Make sure you understand quantization. We have other videos covering it too, but this is very, very important when we're talking about getting models into production and how it works. But at the end of the day, we just need to do quantization pretty much anytime we want to deploy a model. We're just getting speed for free. So language support, Java, Kotlin, Swift, Objective-C, C++, Python, JavaScript, anything out there is supported. And once you have the optimized framework, you have the business use case, just ask Cloud Code and it can build pretty much all of it out for you. We can see some measurement performance. So we have a Xiaomi 17 with 12 gigabytes memory. And we also have an Android phone here with a Snapdragon Elite. We have the different tasks. So detection, segmentation, semantic segmentation, depth estimation. This is the new thing from YOLO as well. So we have a new task, depth estimation. We're going to cover that in one of the upcoming videos. So we can see here the size is just going to run with the default ones. Image size for classification is going to be a bit slower. Just for CPU, we can see the milliseconds. So the YOLO26 nano version, you're probably going to run that in most cases on edge devices, but we get almost 20 frames per second. And we can see here that this is our quantization that is specified for LiteRT. Post estimation, they're all very similar, around 50, 60 milliseconds. So this is very, very awesome. A lot of the phones, they also have GPUs now, or hardware accelerators like neural processing units and so on. So it can run even faster with LiteRT, and we can get down to 15 milliseconds inference time for the YOLO models. So you can see this is a bit above 60 frames per second, more than enough for real-time applications just running on a phone. So you don't need like crazy GPUs and all that to run the YOLO models. This is one of the main advantages as well. You can go through it, take a look at some of the other benchmarks on the different hardware like phone, like Samsung Galaxy, Xiaomi, Google Pixel. All of them is very similar. They're using a lot of the same processing devices. So you can pretty much use any modern mobile phone and be able to squeeze out all these metrics, start to build around it. If we scroll a bit further down, we're then going to talk about how we can export the LiteRT, and then we're going to see how we can do it on the platform, and then cover how we can deploy the actual models, start build the use case around it, like get it to run on your phone. So all you have to do is just pip install Ultralytics. Then we go down, export it in the exact same way as any other model that we have. So we're just going to create a model. You can specify the path to your own model here. We have training videos, everything. Swap out the model path to your own custom model. We load in the model, and then we just need to hit .export. We specify the format, so the LiteRT, the image size, and you can also specify all the other arguments, as you can see down here at the bottom. But if you want to use quantization, batch processing, if you want to optimize it for handling like multiple images in the same run, the data coming in, the device. So if you're doing int8 quantization, we need to have some data that it can go in and do calibration on, so we don't lose too much accuracy. So here you can see the different parameters that you can specify. We have this W8A16, so this is static int8 weights plus int16 activations. So it does need calibration, as you can see here, and we can also have floating point 32 activations with int8 weights. This is pretty cool. You can see all of it here. This is some of the newer stuff that has come out, and it's very, very awesome, especially for embedded devices, where some of the most important is just being able to actually run these computer vision models on such a small device without running like too much power, having a GPU, and all those things. Let's jump into the Ultralytics platform here. You can just go to platform.ultralytics.com. We have videos covering like the full training workflow, how we take a data set, train it, export it. So let's just take one of the examples. We have this crack segmentation, for example. We have the model. All we have to do is just go inside the model tab. We can see we have an experiment done. We have trained it. We can go and then I'll go inside the export tab. You can always download just the PyTorch model up at the top right corner. And now we can see all the optimized frameworks, and just search on YouTube Ultralytics, one of these formats here that you want to learn about, and we have everything covered. So now we have LiteRT, mobile and embedded devices, Android and Raspberry Pi, as I have mentioned. We hit export, we specify image size, the precision we want. Let's just use this V8A32, and let's just try that out. We don't need calibration for that. So you can also use the native non-maximum suppression free output when the model supports it, and we can just toggle that on, so it's an end-to-end model. It's not going to do the post-processing with non-maximum suppression after the model outputs, and this is one of the cooler things with the new YOLO26 model. So we're just going to start the export. You'll be notified once it's done. It's just going to take probably a few seconds, depending on what quantization and so on that you're doing. Now we're doing quantization, so it might take a bit longer. Now we can see it's ready, and we can now just go ahead and download it. So now just download it to my computer here, and I can start build it in our applications. So if you go back, you can now deploy it with all these different guides here. Browser, Node.js, you can get it running with Node.js. You just have this TensorFlow Lite format, and they have all different types of frameworks that you can use for it. There's a guide for iOS, there's a guide for Android, so you can just open up any of these here that you want to build on, and then you can use it directly out of the box. I would just take this, copy paste it, throw it into Cloud Code together with the model weights, and it can build out everything for you. So this is pretty much everything. This is a very cool format if you're working with all different types of embedded devices. You want to be able to get the smaller models running on lower end hardware. Go in and check it out. All you have to do is just run a few commands, use Cloud Code, whatever coding tool, agentic coding tool that you're using out there. It will help you out on the steps, and then you can get everything running with the Ultralytics model. It supports all the tasks, detection, segmentation, depth estimation, all of it supported by Ultralytics. You can get that exported into the optimized frameworks. This is some of the most important things when you want to get models from the development into a production environment and be able to run there in an efficient way, both to get better results, not have so big memory requirements, and also just save on cost and maybe go with lower end hardware. Very awesome. Go in and check it out again. Make sure you really understand these things if you're building computer vision models, and hope to see you guys in one of the upcoming videos. Until then, happy building.